Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's studio visit. Just before we begin, I'm just going to go over some house rules. One, you're welcome to have your videos on, but please keep your microphones muted. And then two, you're welcome to pose any questions in the chat function, which we'll read out. And then three, if you'd like to ask questions yourself, you're welcome to raise your hand and the host will unmute you. For this studio visit, I'd like to welcome Option Dzikamai Nyahunzvi. Option has prioritized printmaking and paper-based techniques in his practice. His works are characterized by layers of colors fused with contour lines that are etched from paper. The zebra, which is also his totem, connects as a point of departure for exploring and asserting the importance of traditional storytelling and mythology in contemporary art. Nyahunzvi graduated with a certificate in visual arts and design awarded by Harare Polytechnic College in association with the National Gallery School of Visual Arts and Design in 2015. He has since featured in several exhibitions, residencies, and art fairs, both on the local and international scene, including the Netherlands, Zimbabwe, the USA, and London. So if you'd like to take over Option, then just take us through your studio practice.
Okay. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for all your time. And so I'm in my studio right now. So this is actually the background. The entrance is where I'm facing right now. So I'm just gonna pick up the phone and let you view the studio around before I say anything. Then you'll be open to ask me any questions you would love to.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right. So let me just turn off my camera. All right. Yeah. So this is a space when I'm entering in. So this is like how it is. So it's just like a 4x3 meter studio, a little small space.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so some of the works on the walls are finished, some are in progress, but to me, the work is never be finished. As long as it's still in the studio, it's never get finished. So there's like a little small material space where all the material are. So basically that is some works on the floor for the smaller space. So you can ask me to point any work that you're really interested to ask on.
Maybe you could start by just taking us through your process.
Through myself, right?
Yeah, your process of how you create your paintings.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I can say I'm the source of inspiration of everything I produce, in terms of trying not to disconnect with my ancestral spirits, with my origin, with my totem, with the space that I belong. So basically, it's an exploration of day and the people that I meet, and trying to just to bring all together in the process of making my art. So basically, I come from a background of printmaking, and printmaking materials are very hard to source in terms of they are being so much expensive. So there's always ways and means trying to bring everything together so that it comes up with one thing. So painting is part of it. I collaborate printmaking and painting. then canvas and paper is also my surface that I always try to fuse together so that I'm able to do printmaking on paper or painting on canvas. But then at the end, it's just come up as a one piece. So exploring my totem as a zebra in Zimbabwe, in my culture, knowing your totem is something that is really important because it's a trace of your ancestral bloodline. And it's something that you won't give yourself, but you're just born with it, knowing that you're a zebra or you're a monkey or any animal that you're in relation with. So I really picked that theme that I'm still exploring, and I'll never end up exploring that because looking into this modern day time, young people are fused much with so many cultures, and then within the urban spaces. So we tend to forget what molds us as people, as Shona people, as Zimbabweans. So digging that, that's what I'm really focused on. In a sense that the history tells that if you don't know where you're coming from, then where you're going, you'll never know it as well. So that's what really is in the work that I produce. So basically, it's like an exploration of energies, something that we don't see with our eyes, something that we don't touch with our hands. There within us, it's always there, supernatural energies and the magic in our everyday lives. So basically, that's how what my work aims to explore. And within the material context, when I start painting, obviously it's a blank paper or a blank canvas, but I always let the energy lead me to the way until the final product is out. So it's all a matter of also accepting those energy that is circulating around myself, and everything that is happening. Even if for an example, if let's say I'm working under a tree, then a leaf falls down on the surface of my painting, then to me I think it's a significance of something, either power or certain direction that is you're being shown to follow. So energies and instincts are very important to me because that's what lets me have an end product. So yeah, so basically that's what it really is in the process of my creativity. So basically I start with a blank image in my mind, in everything, but the energy let me goes into the process until to the end of a product. Yeah, so I just play around with anything that is around me in terms of material. So sometimes I work with coffee, even tea, even sand, even sometimes I'll be drinking something like Coke or anything. So these things have energies that I think have power in the everyday activity.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. I think it's really great to see your work, especially as it's situated in the studio, and also very beautiful paintings that you have created. I just wanted to let everyone know, if people who just came in, if you have any questions or comments, you can post them in the chat, or you could raise your hand up and to ask option directly, and we'll just unmute you. So also feel free to jump in whenever you want to jump in if anyone has any questions. I guess I was also I think it's interesting that you're working so much with like traditional ideas in Zimbabwe, especially around like the ideas of the totem, ancestral heritage, and you seem to be focused a lot on energies and very intuitive practice. And I'm just wondering as well, some of the forms in your paintings, how do those come about? Like, for example, the work that I'm looking at behind you, directly behind you. I'm just wondering, like, who is that form, or what is that form, and what does that form mean?
Okay, allow me just to point on it, then I'll talk on it whilst I'm pointing on the work.
Okay.
So basically, this work, I've titled it Varwiri, which means the fighters or spiritual forces that enables you to run a day or to complete a day. In Shona, there's a say that hunumunu, in a sense that without respecting that self-being, you are not even able to explore energies around you. So for an individual to complete a day, there are certain energies and forces or things that you have to follow basically every day for you to achieve anything that you want in life. So before like I put myself in a situation physically, there are spiritual forces that are there already that are fighting your way before you are there physically. So this is what this work is talking about. When you see that figure of a zebra with a white, so much white part there, it just shows that it's clean. So we humans, we're not clean, but spiritual forces actually, I think they're more cleaner than we. So they play a much more biggest role in everything that we do in our everyday life than we physically. So what they are fighters for you spiritually. Either they start with you in the dreams, or either you're walking in a way, or suddenly you change that way to another way. So there are those forces that send you to do that. So basically, I was trying to explore that. They are the four figures, like they're always in front of you. For an instant, we say our eyes are the windows to our soul, but then the forehead is there already. And we just see our face or somebody's face in front, but probably you are talking to something that is fighting for that personal person you're talking to. So it's only a matter of the spiritual forces that plays our role first before we go physically. So they fight for us for everything to come up perfectly. So sometimes we wonder why this and that is not coming out well, this and that is not coming out well. Maybe those spiritual forces, they're angry at us in terms of our physical behaviors. So what we or our ancestral guiders, they played much role before we do anything physically. So that's what this work is like really trying to explore about.
We have another question from Richard. He's asking, what materials are you using in creating your work? When does your studio sessions work? What time do you go to the studio? And what time of the day are you most creative? So that's 3 questions. So maybe we'll start with the first one, which was, what materials are you using to create your work?
Basically, I work with paper, but then I fuse with canvas to make it strong in terms of fragility. Paper is very fragile. So, and also most of the times I work very big. So I end up fusing it with canvas because I'm just looking for the strong ability of the work. The paper itself is fragile. So usually it's paper, acrylics, inks, oils. It's all different type of paints on one surface. And yeah, in terms of material, that's what it is. Yeah, so on a canvas, sometimes I take a canvas as a whole plain piece that I start work on, then implement paper as collage, or sometimes I take paper as the whole part of it, then just fuse canvas at the back to make it strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then on the other question,
The other question was, yeah, what time do you go to your studio and what time of the day are you most creative?
Usually I wake up very early, like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Then up to 9, I'll be tired. Then usually most of the day, I'll be not in the studio. I'll be running around at home with family, etc. But usually I work in the night or early in the morning. But then sometimes the time is very shuffled. It's just like whenever I feel the energy, or it's like I have something to start on in my mind. So basically, yeah, it's in the night. It's most very useful to me because that's when like everybody's asleep. There'll be no much disturbances, and I think there's so much also energy that will be circulating around when people are asleep. There's so much energy within the quiet environment. So I enjoy in the morning or in the night. So sometimes I go into the studio like around 10, 11 p.m. Then come out at like 4:30 a.m. Then go to bed. Then I sleep up to midday. Then after I wake up, then I'll just loitering around, connecting energies, gardening, playing with kids and stuff like that. So during the day, usually I'll be sourcing for energies. Then later in the night, I'll be like using it.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I can see Richard smiling. It seems like a lot of what you're saying is relatable as painters.
Okay.
I guess it would be nice to also see maybe another example of your work. Is there another work that you could talk us through as well?
Yeah. Okay. Let me point on this one as my choice.
Okay.
Because like recently I've been fighting so much within myself. This one is untitled. I don't have a title of it, but recently I had a studio visit at home with a long-time friend since way back. But then when that person walks in, when she saw this work, it was like, option, you're now painting very scary items. I don't know what's going on with you. Then I just said, no, I don't know. I can't even explain it by myself, but it's just these energies that will be around myself during that time. Because, yeah, I think we fight so many wars spiritually than physically. So there's a lot of things that happen within humanities in terms of energies. Sometimes you're forced into a situation that are not coming from your own individual energies. They're just energies that will be coming from different people. Just like a package. When a package comes in, it's like a surprise. It doesn't know what it is. It doesn't know what the energy it contains. You can have a Christmas gift, but you never know that gift will make you a Christmas to be a good Christmas. Probably you're gonna have a gift for Christmas that will make your entire life so bad. Okay. So yeah, so this energy, this piece is just talking about the bad vibe that I've been like really facing throughout this whole year. It's like a package that I've never expected. that were
Yeah.
really like affecting me so spiritually. So sometimes it's just sent to you. Then you say, wow, I'm having a good gift. Then later you realize, no, that gift was
Yeah.
actually a curse. So
Yeah.
this is what this piece explains about. Usually, an owl is a very beautiful creature that the Almighty gave energy. I think every creature on earth have different energies. So usually, bad people, anything bad can take use of those creatures that have powers to use them in a different ways that are so bad and destroy humanity. So that's why you see an owl there, and it's like a half body of a person in a package. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Yeah, no, thank you for taking us through that painting. Aya had a question. She just raised her hand.
I actually raised my hand before you were speaking about the owl because I've seen lots of your work and I'm a huge fan. And what's really interesting about that work that you just showed is how detailed the owl is. So I was just going to ask about the significance of having a bird figure, an animal figure that's really prominent in the picture. But then you explained it.
Okay, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
because when we grew up, there are folk tales, folklores, or stories that we hear about, and I think Richard will really understand me. This is something that is very scary, especially when you see it during the night, like very closer to you,
Mhm.
or at your homestead, or there's always a significant about that. So yeah, that's why there's an owl in there. It's just there on the shoulder of its owner. So
mhm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
basically that's like what really is.
Yeah, I remember at school in Harare when there would be an owl sometimes coming to the tree. There would be like loads of people crowding around the tree to look at the owl. And there was always the teacher like there because there were so many people who were really scared and some kids would like throw rocks at the owl. So they were like
Mhm.
trying, just saying like, no, just leave the owl there. But I remember every time the owl came, it was like a huge thing at school and everyone would go and see the owl by the tree.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Really interesting.
So
Just to let everyone know, we've got
okay.
5 minutes left, so we should start wrapping up. If there are any last questions or comments, please feel free to
Okay.
make them. Yeah, go ahead. Option.
Okay, I was just wanted to explain in terms of the material thing. So this is a canvas, but then the other part it's paper collaged. So that's how sometimes I work on it. The larger part will be canvas, then the smaller part is paper, etched and printed on top. Then on other work, the other part will be more paper and lesser canvas. So I always try to balance that. So this other part here is paper fused on canvas. Then here it's only canvas. So it's just like collaborating two different materials to make it one.
Someone also asked if you, Jerry Cam asked if you also plan out your work in detail before you start collaging and cutting the work, i.e., do you sketch first?
Um, I hardly sketch. I remember I used to draw and sketch so much when I was at school. But then sometimes, but then I had a fight with myself, my mind, and everything in terms of sketching, and later take that sketch into a painting or into a larger piece. I always change ideas in terms of if I sketch something, if I want to put it on a bigger piece or take it on a canvas, I end up changing everything. So sometimes, like now, I just go direct on the canvas. So the way I move my strokes, the way I even the color that I put, that drives me to anything that comes up at the end. So I really hardly sketch, but sometimes I also work on smaller pieces like this one. I think these are my sketches, but they end up like just being pieces. So yeah, I hardly sketch. I really hardly sketch. If I sketch, I can go sketch directly on the piece that I'm working on.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Just wanted to know if there are any other last questions or comments from the audience.
No, all good. That was amazing. Thanks, Option.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us to your studio. I think it was a great pleasure. I think we all really enjoyed seeing your space and how you work, and also seeing your works and knowing your process. So yeah, thank you so much for showing us your studio space.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everyone for coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, Option.
Thank you, everyone. I really thank you so much.
Thank you. We loved it.
I love how you also have your totem on your shirt.
Yeah, it's really important to me because I think it's my guidance on everything that I do. In Shona, we actually greet each other that way. Makadi Samaita, Makadi Soko. We actually greet each other with our totems. So it's really important to me, even to our kids, something that's really important for them to know whilst they're growing up. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. My baba is busy. Maita.
Dinotenda, Mkoma Mdariki.